Shalom. This is Rabbi Mark Kunis and my Taste of Torah for Passover 5781. My friends, after more than a year of the COVID pandemic, I'd like to share with you one of the crucial messages of Passover, and that is that we do not need to return to normal in order to be happy. We're now approaching another Passover with another not quite normal Seder. Although many of us are vaccinated, although the restrictions are starting to lift, although the proverbial light seems to be poking out of the dark COVID tunnel, there's still legitimate fear. Most families are still forced to spend the holiday apart, at least not having the big seders of the past. It's frustrating and it's painful, and yet the essential lessons of Passover remain as relevant now as ever. For us this year, here's the most important lesson. We tend to hitch our happiness, our growth, to external circumstances. We convince ourselves that life will be better after we get married, after we have a baby, then another one. Then we're frustrated that the kids aren't old enough and will be more content when they are. Later we're frustrated with the teenagers we have to deal with. We will certainly be happy when they go off to college and are on their own. We tell ourselves that we would really enjoy Passover if only all our kids could be with us. That our life will be complete when our spouse gets his or her act together, when we're able to finally go on vacation again, when we retire. The truth is, there's no better time to be happy than right now. Your life will always be filled with challenges. It's best to recognize this and decide to be happy anyway. The very heart of Passover puts a light to our rationalizations. At the heart of the Seder is the famous song, Dayenu. You know how it goes. Sing with me. Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Again and again it tells us, if only God did this for us and not that, Dayenu, it would have been enough for us. For example, if God divided the Red Sea for us and not brought us through to dry land, Dayenu, it would have been enough. Enough? Of course not. Or this verse, if God had brought us to Mount Sinai and not given us the Torah, Dayenu, it would have been enough for us. Enough? What would Judaism be like without the Torah? What's the point? The point is that it would have been enough to appreciate and thank God. The lesson is that no matter the situation we are in, whatever the circumstances of our life, Dayenu, it is enough to appreciate what we do have and thank God for His blessings. Instead of lamenting what's missing this year, we should instead focus on what we have. And we must not wait for circumstances to change to be happy. What it comes down to is that happiness is a choice. And Passover implores us to choose to be happy now. Of course, we want things to change. Not only do we not wish to live in the shadow of a potentially dangerous virus, but people need to get back to work. Children need to return to school. But until things do, we have a choice to make. We can wallow in self-pity, moaning about the dreadful year it's been and how it still hasn't ended. Or we can sing Dayenu and find our way to gratitude and appreciation, even in the midst of a pandemic. So, my friends, Stop waiting until the pandemic ends, until you finish school, until you go back to school, until you lose 10 pounds, until you gain 10 pounds, until you have kids, until your kids leave the house, until you start work, until you retire, until you get married, until you get divorced, until you get a new car or a new home, until your car or home is paid off, until you sobered up, or until you die. To decide to get rid of all the excuses and realize that there's no better time than right now, as we usher in this Passover holiday, to be and feel the wonder and excitement of your being and the growth that comes with all your challenges. And thank God for the gift of your life. Chag Sameach, and have a great Yom Tov.